In the last few parshiyot in the Torah, we have followed the life of Yaakov and all the many difficult and challenges that he was exposed to in his life. Too many to enumerate, but so many difficult things he went through. And now comes this parashat Vayeshev. Now Yaakov was settled in the land. He went back to the land. Now he's settled. And the Midrash says, he thought the time was come to settle down and to enjoy a little bit life. But that's not what's in the cards for him. There is even more trouble, more challenges, more difficulties, more pain to be experienced by him throughout his life, until the end of his life, all the parshiyot that remain in the book of Bereshit. And now begins the story of Yosef in this Torah portion. And Yosef, who is privileged and who is favored by his father, now we'll know the story. His brothers really hate him. ויראו אחיו כי אותו אהב אביהם מכל אחיו. Now the brothers saw that he was the one who his father loved, their father loved more than all the brothers. וישנאו אותו ולא יכלו דברו לשלום. And they hated him. I mean, the Torah uses this word, really very intense hatred. They hated him so that they could not speak to him leshalom, peacefully, kindly, nicely. And then he dreams his dreams, and the brothers hate him even more. And then, following the dreams, the brothers are pasturing the flocks a number of days away, walking away from where they lived. And Yosef stays behind. And Yaakov says to Yosef, now I want you to go and find out how your brothers are doing. And uses the same word, shalom. I want you to go and check how is the peace of your brothers. The same word. They couldn't talk to him in peace or peacefully, and now the father wants to see if the brothers, for Yosef to check if the brothers are at peace. Something a little bit ironic here. And so Yosef goes, and at some point he gets lost in the way. And it says here that, trying to find the pasuk, at pasuk 15, it says, וימצאהו איש והנה טועה בשדה. A man found Yosef. He was wandering in the field. He didn't know which direction to go. He was completely lost. His brothers were a 3-day walk from where they lived, and he was lost in the field. וישאלהו האיש לאמור מה תבקש. And this man, who is unnamed, some people think he's an angel, asked Yosef, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? You seem so lost. And in fact, he was so lost. He was alone. His brothers hated him. The family was in some sort of a breakdown. They had gone also through so many different difficult challenges as a family. His mother is dead. Yosef's mother, Rachel, is dead. He's lost. And so there's a wonderful commentary of the Kotzker Rebbe that says that follows. Amalach limed et Yosef, the angel, this person who met him in the way when he was lost, taught Yosef that always when he's wandering in the paths of life, when he is confused, spiritually confused, that he has to tell himself and clarify for himself, what is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I aspire to? That he has to go back into himself, and he has to clarify and explain to himself, what is it that he's looking for himself? In other words, he teaches him a lesson that we all have to learn. We all get lost in the paths of life. We all have dramas in our lives. We all live in situations which are confusing and perplexing and often disappointing. We're often wandering in the dark. The world is wandering in the dark, but we individually also often find ourselves wandering in the dark. And the teaching here that this man offers Yosef is when you're in a situation like this, stop. Stop. Don't wander around. Just stop. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I aspire to? Make it clear to yourself. And then you will find your way. And then you will find what you're looking for. And so, so much of our lives is on the outside. We're all lost. The world is lost. And the more we get lost, the more we wander around. We look in 1,000 directions. We are looking in our computers. We're Googling our way around. The Kotzker Rebbe says, we're all like Yosef. Stop. Go inside. Do the internal work of finding out, what am I looking for? How do I get out of this? How do I stop wondering? I have to find out, what is it that I'm looking for? What do I aspire to? And then, once I have that clarity, I will find my way. And so, I think it's a very, very useful lesson in these times, particularly as the days get darker and darker, right? I mean, on the outside, it mirrors what we feel on the inside. As the day gets shorter, the darkness gets bigger. It mirrors what we're feeling on the inside. It's time to go in. It's time for the world. It's time for each one of us to go in, do a little bit of the spiritual work of meditation and prayer and study and quiet and Shabbat. That's where Shabbat comes in. This is the time, the Shabbat, every week, this day, for us to go in, ask ourselves, what am I looking for? What do I want? Not the things that I want, but what am I looking for in my life? And what am I aspiring to? And so I hope in these days, on this Shabbat, and the days of Hanukkah that come, that we can all do this spiritual work and perhaps feel a little less lost, a little bit more guidance will come from the inside, from the outside, not from Google, from the neshama and from the heart inside.